So we're really preventing how much this lead hip drops down for Carson. When he does that and that lead hip drops down, his upper body doesn't quite get to turn and rotate on top of his lower body. How good did that feel?
Yeah, that was good.
Dang. That was striped right there. First of all, this is my man Carson right here, Carson Hackman. He's in town with his brother, Cameron Hackman, all the way from Montana. Now, he's in New Mexico right now, going to school, playing on the team, and what we're doing right now is out here, we're just talking about how this guy needs to transition from hitting a draw into a fade. Because when we're younger and we don't have that same exact strength, right? So that same exact strength, it's just easy to have the arms trail and to hit those little loopy draws, right?
Right.
But now you're getting strong, and when you hit a draw, the misses get bigger because they stay farther out left or they overturn more right. Okay, he's a lefty. So what we're working really hard on is him setting up, and for him feeling like he's really trying to hit a pull fade, like he's trying to hit it right for him and start the ball moving back to the left. Now, the reason why is he typically gets a little wristy at the top. The club will drop behind his hands and his body and get way inside coming down, and then he's dependent upon turning his wrists over to hit the golf ball, right?
Right.
So we lose that angle of attack, that ability to strike down on top of the ball that stabilizes the face and really compresses it. So what we're looking for more of this look right here. If I had a ball right in front of me, I want to feel like I'm starting the ball left of that and cutting it back. That look right there, right? And for you, being a stronger guy, that's going to lead to the ability to keep the club face square a lot longer.
Right.
And more importantly, that club face is going to be right on top of the golf ball. Ball first contact every single time. And
right.
as we talked about, that ball starting on line and in a window that's a lot tighter and not being out and loopy. Yeah. And once we do that, your game's going to be just a ton better. But this guy's awesome. You can start hitting some golf balls, buddy. This guy's awesome. We met at Junior World Championships. Mom and Dad are back there, and we met over at Torrey Pines. We were walking the golf course, and I was watching him play with one of my boys, William Alexander, and nice swing, buddy. Immediately hit it off with the family, and we started doing some FaceTime lessons. So immediately Carson's swing started to improve, and he's gone from, and Dad, tell me if I'm joking, like way up there to now very connected and on plane. And, but you know what I was thinking about, Sean? He used a lot of that lift before to actually come down on top of the golf ball on a good plane, where now that he's turning it back there, it's even more important for him to understand the effort he has to make to turn it back through the ball. Does it make sense? Right, yeah, exactly. It's a pretty good swing, isn't it, Gabe? I mean, we were just talking about it yesterday. I was thinking about it, watching him hit golf balls on the course, because what really led us to knowing that he needed that fade, we were trying to hit it more on the range, and it just neutralized his ball flight, made it better, a lot straighter, little draws, if anything.
Yeah.
And then we got to the golf course, and after 1.5 good days of really striking it well on the range, the minute we got out there, the ball would start 10, 15 left of his line, and would loop either back to the target or just hang out there or overturn. Yeah. And I said, we can't let that be a possibility. And it definitely showed the tendency on the course was not to have the same connection at the top and ability to get through that golf ball with the upper body, as we talked about, covering. There's a lot more that we've been through that the viewer, hasn't heard, but that's stabilizing that lower body to have the ability to turn the upper body on top of the lower body. Right. Not have the hips sliding and then the hands and the club and the arms always trailing, right?
Yeah.
So that's big. We've done that.
Right.
The real thing we're just trying to do now is play with simple things. Like yesterday, what really helped him, Gabe, go back behind him real quick. We put balls on the inside or a towel on the inside right here of his, from where he's aiming, and just keeping his club on top of it and missing those golf balls. That helps him a lot, just not get that club stuck underneath. Helps him visualize how to get the club more in front of him on the transition of his swing and through impact. But hey, dude, those are starting dead on line now.
Yeah,
Now we just
it
need to make
is.
sure the face is more controlled, right?
Yeah, it's just a little too closed.
Yeah, which comes from, for you, because your grip checks out, everything checks out, that quickness in transition.
Right.
The minute that drops back, it has to whip through.
Yeah.
And I just feel like for you, every time we get, you know, we do more of these drills right here together, every time you do this, it stabilizes the club face. Right?
Yeah.
The more of those, the better.
Still a little too quick.
Yeah, it's good though, and we'll take a video of it. So yesterday we would have seen with this guy, like he'd get up here, the club would then drop and get underneath his forearm coming down, and his arms would get kind of behind his body, right? So what I mean by that is the arms trail the body when the body moves a little laterally. So the way that we defeated that was by bumping that lead hip, so he wasn't having to post himself back up in the transition. He's just already there, so he can rotate more cleanly around some fixed points. That helped.
Right.
Then the ability, because people have to understand, when they start working on this hip shift, that's just, it naturally happens with the right setup and the right turn to the top. You know, this hip shift this way slides the hips and doesn't rotate the hips, and then people spend all their time facing the golf ball and their hands have to become overactive, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what we're getting rid of for you. And I wanted to repeat that for you too, Dad, because I know you help these guys a lot when I'm not around. The hips going side to side. The hip bump, and I know it's funny because I'm having both the brothers check this out. I want you guys checking your leg length. I know it sounds funny, but I'm already short, and my right leg is, you know, an inch taller than my left leg. My left leg's short, and that's not good because the pelvis sits like that, right? So I always had to work extra hard to really get myself to bump my hips forward. You guys always stand naturally, and it's like that other hips higher, right? So yeah, it's natural for you as a lefty to set up, you know, more on top of it like that. You know, from your guys' perspective, more on top of it like that. So just shifting and getting the upper body positioned in the right position. I had in my previous lesson today, this is a great checkpoint for both of you, okay? Because I got Cameron's back there as well watching this. When I set up, if I'm a lefty, if I'm setting up with a wedge, my hands would hang pretty much smack dab over my knees, you guys. Ready for this? If I have a 7-iron, middle finger would be really on the outside and the inside right here of both knees. Now ready, if I have a driver, now my hand would be completely inside both knees. Now, so that can be described as, okay, with a wedge, I'm narrower, so that little hip bump keeps me very centered. With a 7-iron, that inch hip bump, well, you know, according to keeping my upper body still when I do that, that's where my hands are going to fall. Now, when I get a driver out, it's not just simply the inch hip bump, but it's almost the hips go 1 inch this way and the upper body's 1 inch this way, just to get a little bit more behind it. That's typically what a player has to feel, and here's the reason why. Because that left arm, for you, lefty, is reaching more on the golf club, and the ball position's way forward. So from our perspective here, what happens, guys? Open upper body. And that's what I see with both of you. Open hips, open upper body, feet going kind of down the line of where we're supposed to. Needs to be this way and then that way, right? And that's where it squares you up. And that leads to the ability to make a better turn and then be able to get back over it and cover the golf ball on the way through. But if I'm standing up straight and the hips drop down and then they slide, my upper body is not ever going to get on top of my lower body, and I'm underneath like this, and I'm going to flip the club face all day. We want to see, I'll give you the lefty rendition. I'm doing my best. Doing my best. Right pocket back, left shoulder through. Right. My righty's a little cleaner. Okay. And that's what gets that upper body covering the golf ball as you rotate. Not possible, though, if we don't have that setup dialed in and we don't turn to the top the right way. So that's where I brought out this morning. I said, hey, the basket. The basket's fantastic. Throw that underneath your legs there. Now what this does, go and set up, it keeps this leg out a little bit and keeps this hip out a little bit as you do what? As you turn to the top.
Yeah.
There you go. See that? So that's good. So we're really preventing how much this lead hip drops down for Carson. When he does that and that lead hip drops down, his upper body doesn't quite get to turn and rotate on top of his lower body. How good did that feel?
Yeah, that was good.
Dang. That was striped right there. Hey, dude, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big part of it. Guys, hitting a cut, think about it. Hitting a cut. I need you to follow me on this one. This is important. If I have the club right here, and hitting a cut is just, if anything, a couple degrees right across the ball, not into out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the body's rotation and that connection and the way that my body rotates that can get that path to be that way.
Right.
Otherwise, we're not trying to manipulate it and throw
Yeah.
things. No, it's just from a connected position, from still being in the slot, not being steep.
Mm-hmm.
How does it happen? That proper rotation. Watch what happens if my body doesn't rotate the right way. Right?
Yeah.
And you can see that club just never get on that
And
plane.
flip it back or leave it out.
So just stabilizing the lower body allows the upper body to turn on top of the golf ball the right way and compress it, right? You
Right.
could literally put that basket between your legs or something like that, hit 3/4 just like little punch cuts all day.
You want me to hit a punch cut here?
Yeah, just like little 3/4 just punch cuts. But give me like the 3/4 swing now.
Okay.
3/4 still up here, you know, still full effort up here. So watch this. When I do, so full swing, 3/4 swing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like full swing would be like this, right? It's kind of like full swing. Okay. 3/4 swing would be more like this. You see the difference there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So just, it still had the full effort.
Yeah, it did.
I'm just trying to, I just shortened it up a hair
Yeah.
and still hit a shot.
Yeah.
I'm just taking 10 yards off the shot I was just hitting,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
great for the wind also. Just want to see that ball cut. Beautiful. So what's great, and our viewer can't see that because I want them to have a shot tracer on that so badly. That ball is just a laser and it's dead straight. So, you know, sitting here working on a feel with a good player who already swings it very well, who just needs to know one of the tiny features of his golf swing with instability up here, loose at the top, leads to loose at the bottom. That's one thing that would cause the face to get lost.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing that would detour the path from being on top of it, as we talked about, would be that lower body
Right.
just not being in a stable position to where the pressure stays on the inside of the trail foot
Mm-hmm.
and more on the flat of the,
Right.
feeling on almost on the outside
Yeah.
of the lead foot for you as you turn. Doesn't mean we don't turn behind it. Look at, my hips are turning this way, but my chest is this way. Still turn behind it because my spine's in position to where I don't have to do anything other than just move around it. And I can then just move right back around, but there's no lower body weight transfer happening. It's the upper body simply turning around the spine angle that puts the pressure there and then puts the pressure there.
Right.
But turning centered allows your upper body to actually cover the golf ball. People's attempt to cover it sometimes comes with lateral motion, right? And then it's
Yeah.
just, that's not what we're looking for either. So for you, buddy, getting that lower body set properly,
Right.
that drill for you is great with the basket.
Yeah.
Still do your hip bump and all your good stuff. And don't be afraid to try to peel this ball 5 yards, 10 yards left, you know? And see, what's funny from a man here is like I tell him that, and it's like a 2-yard, 1-yard draw. And it's okay. Like it's important he understands that he needs to feel that in order to create that shot. And I'm not saying you can't go out and play a 1-yard, 2-yard draw.
But I want to hit the.
But we're just I think we're pursuing the cut because I can't see you overdoing that.
No.
I just can't see you overdoing it. It's not your golf swing.
No.
So you just work towards it and it just neutralizes your golf swing. It's great. Super easy to trust. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Any questions or comments you have, please leave them below. Also, click the link below to pick up 3 free videos. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy our channel.